Hello, this is Mario Farina. Today I'll be reading a story to you called My Ethereal Watch. This is the picture that appears at the front of the story. The story is available at smashwords.com. That is www.smashwords.com. It's free for the downloading and for the reading. While there, you'll see many other stories that are also free and available for downloading free. My Ethereal Watch. My name is James Fenway. I was born on June 11, 1923. I'm an old man and have lived a long life. But enough about me. This is a story about my ethereal watch that was given to me when my father died. I was 25 at the time. It wasn't an expensive watch and was not running, but I had a great attachment to it since my father had owned it. On its face, I thought that it was a Westclock's pocket Ben and that it had been made in Canada. I opened the back to see what I could learn from this. There wasn't much to see there except 5 digits, which were, as I remember them, 25567. I assumed this was the serial number. I put it away in a dresser drawer in my bedroom. The years went by, as they inevitably must, and I lived a good life. I married at age 27, had 4 children with my wife Elaine, all girls. I had gotten my college degree when I was 23 and had worked at General Electric since 24. I did not think of my watch a great deal, but I would open the drawer in my bedroom just to make sure it was there. This gave me a feeling of comfort since I had vowed never to part with it. One day, when I was in my 30s, I took the watch out of the drawer, thinking that it might need a cleaning. I opened the back to see whether it showed any signs of this. The watch looked exactly the same as it had when I had first opened it, with one exception. The serial number looked different from what I had remembered. It was 22645. I didn't think of this much, since I thought I must have made a mistake in remembering the number. My wife and I bought a house in Albany, traded in our old Chevrolet for a Pontiac, watched our children grow into adults, and did the usual things that a family does in its lifetime. I didn't think of the watch very often, but one day, after many years had passed, I thought I'd look again for old time's sake. I was in my 50s at the time. I opened the back as I had done the last time I had examined the watch. This time the serial number was much different from what I had remembered it. It was 15340. This number was different enough so that I wondered why it wasn't the same as when I had last seen it. I could not be mistaken. The number began with a 1. I was sure that the last time I had looked at that number, it had begun with a 2. I rubbed my forefinger over the number to see whether it might be changing on its own. My finger made no impression. I rubbed more vigorously, but it was the same. The number was as firmly ensconced as it had been on the day it was made. I put the watch away with great wonderment. It was perhaps a year later that I thought about the watch again and decided that I would open the back to make sure that the number that I had seen the last time had not changed. It had. It was no longer 15340. It was now 14975. Now I knew, without a doubt, that the number on the back of that watch was changing by itself. Try as I might, I could not arrive at any other conclusion. But how was this happening? And why was it happening? Were those numbers the serial number of the watch, or were they something else? I decided to write down the numbers on a daily basis to see whether there was any explanation for the differences. I began on the next day and saw that the number was one less than it had been the day before. On the following day, it was one less than the day before that. And on the next day, it was one day less again. I could see that each day the number was declining by one. I could not understand the reason for what was happening. It occurred to me that this was no ordinary watch. There was surely a paranormal reason for the change every day. I awoke the next morning with a thought. I divided the current number on the back of the watch, which was 14965, by 365, the number of days in a year, and found that the result was 40.97. I was 54 years old at the time and believed that this watch was telling me how many days were remaining in my life. And it seemed to be indicating that my last day on earth would occur when I was 95. I had no way of knowing for sure whether my conjecture was correct, but believed that I should heed what the watch seemed to be telling me. Instantly, each day that was given to me became very precious. I needed to make the most of it that I could, and I began to live my life with this resolution ever in mind. I came to refer to the watch as my ethereal watch, in the sense that it probably held heavenly powers. I looked at the back of my watch today. The number was 00671. Today is my birthday. I am 93 years old. I think the number 00671 is telling me something that I am fearful of knowing, but also glad to know. Thank you for looking. Thank you for listening. Tomorrow I'll tell you another story. Bye-bye.